Let's recap the last few weeks on social media, shall we? Fans are over-egging AEW.
Why are so many people excited about AEW? We don't even know what AEW can do. AEW doesn't even have a TV deal.
And you'd be right, it is merely speculation when it does come to the potential of All Elite Wrestling at the moment. But can't we be excited as fans? Can't we just get a little bit pumped up that maybe, just maybe, a bunch of people that are coming together with very good intentions that want to start a brand new wrestling company may actually go on and just make a little dent in the industry. Look at them, denting. We've already seen the effect that it can have, because you can't wake up any day at the moment without hearing some rumours that so-and-so that works over here is up for talking to AEW. That's happening all the time, so straight away we're living in, well, just fun times. Don't forget, the competition isn't always about ratings or the bottom line. It's the atmosphere and it's the environment you can create around the industry, and that ties into the people that work within it and then comes back to us, fans. If you do want some hard facts though, here I stand but a few hours since AEW's Double or Nothing rally, and even though tickets actually haven't gone on sale for that event, they've kind of already sold out. That doesn't even make any sense. But it's true. Why? Here's why. It's nice and simple when you break it all down. Double or Nothing tickets are due to go on sale this Monday, the 11th of February, and that's a pre-sale, and they'll go on general sale that Wednesday, which just so happens to be the 13th of February. I'm like a walking calendar. So how can I make this claim? Well, in order to be involved in the pre-sale, you have to register to get a code. And as of right now, as of me saying these words, 12,000 codes have been requested. Throw in that a lot of people have mentioned that the MGN Grand is going to be set up to hold around 11,500, and that means you already can't get anybody else in the building. And even if you do go with other reports that say, oh no, actually Double or Nothing is going to be around 15,000 people, well, it means they've only got to sell around another 3,000 tickets to go, oh, well, we don't have no more, what are you going to do? And yeah, just because you say that you are interested in being part of the pre-sale, that doesn't actually mean you're going to follow through come Monday, because we know what people are like. It's well easy to go, I'll have one of those, but when you actually have to part with your hard-earned cash, well, it's like night and day. But even if half of those individuals do indeed go through with it, that would mean on day one, AEW have sold 6,000 seats. And yes, that's called maths. And given that Double or Nothing isn't until May the 11th, I'm pretty sure everybody involved could shift 50% of those tickets. But also, if I go into my brain and I go into my gut, I think that more than 6,000 people will try and sort something out on Monday. And that means we've got another all-in on our hands, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. And in fact, it's exactly what we want. Should you wish to compare that with what WWE is doing, and I understand it's 2019 and that's what we all like to do, the WWE financials for the entire year did come out this week. And if we focus on Q4, their average attendance was 5,000 people. Now that isn't an ideal comparison because we're kind of comparing chalk to cheese. WWE obviously running events all the time, whereas AEW, they've only ever had one, and that actually wasn't technically All Elite Wrestling, so this is All Elite Wrestling first event, and you're going to get more buzz and you're going to get more interest just because it's how it works. It's called a debut. Also, WWE is a machine and it just ticks along doing its WWE thing. I mean, if we go back to the paperwork and the conference call that did come out, they've just had the most successful financial year in their own history, so we ain't got to worry about Vince McMahon or co. They doing all right. But we do have to go with the figures that are being thrown into our face, so you can have a little bit of confidence that yes, All Elite Wrestling has just sold out its first ever show. And doesn't that mean we can get a little bit excited? Isn't that enough evidence to go, well, maybe they've got something here. Maybe actually people want this. Maybe people are already invested. Even if it is the exact same audience that did indeed fly out to Chicago, it just means they're dedicated to the cause. And of course, once they start doing weekly TV, if that is what we're going to do, we don't know. That changes the barometer. You're going to have to come up with new ideas. It's harder to sell arenas out week in, week out. But I'm not going to judge AEW on what I'm not seeing. I'm going to judge AEW on what I am seeing. Right now, well, it's ticking all the boxes. And as you know, I enjoy my boxes being ticked. And who knows, maybe they come up with some kind of mad deal where events like this are the crutch of their business model. It does seem likely they are going to sign a big TV deal as well. We don't know what that translates to. We assume it'll be a weekly show because that's what we're used to as wrestling fans. You don't know what they're thinking about. They maybe want to do something completely different. In short, there's no guarantee, and that ties back into the start of the video where it's all right to be excited. This is new ground. They can go in any direction that they want. Let's go back to the start when even the name came out there. If I had said, look, this is what's going to happen, they're definitely going to have Chris Jericho, and they're definitely going to have Kenny Omega seemingly wrapped up exclusively, even then you would have gone, shut up, Miller. You don't know what you're talking about, and if you come closer, I'll bop you in the nose. I would probably still have a mark on my nose, even though I would have been correct. And as we mentioned, these two wrestlers is the card that's probably going to help shift these tickets as fast as it appears they're going to do. Because if you do want to see Jericho versus Omega 2, or technically 2.5, this is the first time you can do it on American shores. If you didn't go to Wrestle Kingdom, which was in Japan, well, you didn't get to see it then. And unless you went on a damn cruise and floated across some water, well, you didn't see it then either. Now you can, and it's exclusive to AEW. And throw on top that we now know that it's going to be the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers in a match that will be gift at least till the end of the year. And I think things are stacking up nicely. That is probably going to be one of the best things we see. And you can't overly rely on social media, but it is a great way to get buzz, and it's a great way to at least get awareness out there. And who knows that better than the Young Bucks? They announced a new t-shirt last night, and it sold out within minutes, probably just because of Twitter. This is all before we know what Cody Rhodes is going to be doing on that night too, because there has been a lot of mumblings, a lot of murmurings that he is going to have a match with somebody huge, but as of now, we don't know, and I think that is intentional, because we can get through Monday, we can get through Wednesday, and if you do need to kind of shift a few more tickets, guess what you do? You reveal that, and get loads of other people interesting, especially if the name is as huge as it's being made out. And if you have smashed it by the middle of next week, you can take your time, but if you haven't, you've got an ace in the hole, you've got some money in the bank, but thankfully Baron Corbin is nowhere to be seen. When you do take a step back and look at it from this point of view, it's hard not to be impressed. Nobody's running in like a bull in a china shop. We're not making rash decisions just to try and stir the pot. We're being smart, we're being meticulous, and we're being calculated, which I think is more information that you can take and go, maybe All Elite Wrestling is going to do it right. My major point is that this is the first time since the death of WCW that I feel like I did before the death of WCW. And TNA was a great alternative, but we know the deal there. And obviously in the modern day, you can take greater advantage of this little thing called the internet. I mean, I'm doing it right now. It's a huge factor because AEW is probably about to sell out another show without having anything on television prior to that. And that doesn't happen without nonsense like YouTube and Twitter, so while we're all quick to damn it and poo-poo and go, what a waste of time, that's not going to help any business, well, it's certainly helping theirs so far. So call me a goof, call me an idiot, call me a bald wallaby, call me whatever you want, but I'm going to stay positive and I'm going to stay very interested in everything that AEW is doing because I like it and it's fun. And when I wake up, 'cause over here, the Double or Nothing rally was like at 3 in the morning, I can't stay up for that. I'm old, but I can wake up and be like, oh, what happened? Oh, it's Kenny Omega, it's this guy, it's that guy, what's going on? It makes wrestling even more fun, especially when these ludicrous conversations come up that even people like Randy Orton and Brock Lesnar are open to having a discussion. And I'm sure that's just to bolster their own WWE deals. But I like that we live in a world where that can happen. And even away from money made or business metrics, AEW is doing a lot of cool stuff, which is doubly cool because when they do it, they don't make a big deal about it. They're not just doing it for the headlines, because when they were revealing names from their roster, they threw in one called Nyla Rose. And Nyla Rose is a transgender woman. And I'm all about that. Wrestling should be inclusive. Wrestling should be for everyone. And here we are with a new company and they're welcoming everybody in. And don't get too upset that a lot of signees you may not have heard of. That's the point. Do you remember when WCW first launched? Did you know Rey Mysterio? Did you know Eddie Guerrero? Did you know Chris Jericho? That all ties in. Nobody knew Chris Jericho unless you were like a super hardcore wrestling nerd when he signed for World Champions Wrestling. But now look, he's on top of the world. So just calm down, put a smile on your face and believe in competition and believe in the power wrestling. Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you think about all of this. Like, share, and subscribe. Head over to whatculture.com and read yourself some articles, a lot which will be about AEW. Go and follow What Culture on Twitter, What Culture WWE, so you can stay up to date with some like bullet point headlines. You're already on YouTube. Why not go watch some more What Culture wrestling videos? My name is Simon from What Culture. Thank you very much for watching, especially as it was the Y series, and as you can probably tell, I quite like AEW. It brings me news every day. I like seeing what WWE has to say about them. It was brought up On their conference call they had, somebody said, what do you think about new people entering the wrestling marketplace? And they went, well, we still think we're the dominant leader and we still think we're the dominant brand, which is a great way to step aside from that issue, but they are right. They are, but I like the little guy slowly climbing up on the ladder because you never know where they're going to get. Sure, maybe they're dead in 5 years, or maybe they're a viable competitor and they're giving more entertainment to us. Again, the fans. Love the fans. See you soon.